It always works when Austin makes me laugh when we come live on screen. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. I know this is an impromptu live stream. And right here beside me, I got the boys. I've got Austin, who you all know very well. Welcome, Austin.
It's good to be here.
I
Got
know.
the main man though.
I know. Strange circumstances. Y'all, before we introduce Pete, Pete, you just need to sit there and smile, okay?
Sure.
So before we introduce Pete, Austin and I were trying to get down to the Panovich Fest
Yes.
this past Friday. And on the way down there, driving south on 85 towards, I guess it would be Spartanburg or wherever we were going, we left our home at 11:30 a.m. on Friday, and we were still in North Carolina 2 hours later. And then I called Austin and said, listen, something's going on that we don't understand. There's highway signs that say all roads in Western North Carolina are closed. I don't think we're getting to the Panovich Fest. And Austin was like, really? It's easy sailing for me. I'm almost to Charlotte. So,
well, yeah, that was it. I was, just booking it from Raleigh, cruising, but it was sobering to see those DOT signs that say, essentially Western North Carolina, all roads closed, do not travel. And it's just like, whoa, like that's, and the other thing that was, we've seen this before with hurricanes, but just these just convoys of the Duke Energy power trucks. And I saw a convoy of ambulances, a convoy of the Swiftwater rescue teams with the Zodiacs. I mean, it seemed like anybody and everybody from the East Coast was headed to, Tennessee, Western North Carolina. And the devastation, I don't think any of us have really, we've seen videos and that kind of thing, but I mean, this is just the beginning of a very long road for that whole area.
yeah, if for the main highways to be closed, like I-40,
Yeah.
I-26, and we're going to get into this. And, all the small towns in Western Appalachia from North Carolina through Tennessee, through Virginia, we've all been there in one way or another. Those of us on the screen, rather in a hiking manner or a kayaking manner, and those small towns mean so much to us. And you guys, we're just talking about the devastation from Hurricane Helene, and it's really unbelievable and kind of mind blowing. All of us, I'm in Charlotte, we're safe and sound. These guys are east of Charlotte, home and safe and sound. I mean, my backyard is soaked and I've got down limbs and things that need to be taken care of, but that is absolutely nothing compared to what our friends in the western part of the state are experiencing. And this morning I saw a video from you, Pete. But before we get into that, kind of give us your perspective, Pete, on where you stand and where you were when you first heard of all of this happening.
Yeah, so I'm a kayaker, do a lot of whitewater kayaking, so we're always tracking incoming rain because that's our ticket to go play. And seeing this storm come, you could see that a lot of those who've been doing this 30, 40 years, some of the pioneers of the sport, were giving out those sober warnings like, I know we all want to go explore, but this is not going to be the weekend. So, we could see that this was going to be an event of great magnitude, at least in the beginning. We didn't know how big it was going to be. Are they overselling it? Is it really going to be that bad? What's going to happen? Because we really haven't seen rain like this since, I believe, 1916 in that area. And so I was up in West Virginia over the weekend, and all the reports started coming in. I was not on any kind of way to see news, and like on a TV or an official news podcast. But we're so connected via our contacts and our networking of Whitewater that in every one of these towns, I have several friends that live or are nearby, all over West North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, even down to South Carolina. And what we were getting reports real time before they started losing communications, and then following, like on Saturday, especially Saturday afternoons, a lot of people were able to find a way to get out, or it would become spotty enough where they would get a text out. We started piecing together how bad it was. And then finally, Sunday, when I got home, most people had found a way to get some information out through some channel or another, through first responder, or finally making their way to somewhere with some signal, what was going on. And it was worse, I think, than even we were all thinking it would be. And it's one of those things, like you say, it's just sobering. So many people, like whole towns are gone. And,
Yeah.
you know, to kind of give you an example, like on the Nolichucky Gorge, up near Irwin, Tennessee, is one we paddled before. Got a lot of friends with businesses, rafting companies, outfitter companies up there, kind of along the river. They're wiped out, and that river got up to 193,000 cubic feet per second, which, if you don't know what it is, you don't know what it is. But to give an example, when we're kayaking after a good rain, it might be 3,000 CFS. The highest previously recorded level on that river since 1901 was 80,000 CFS. So you're talking twice any measurable flow that that river's ever had in history. And I-26 bridges are gone, and other bridges to get into towns are collapsed. So that's just one pocket, and that's just a snapshot of what's going on all over the state. So yeah, total devastation. Kind of tell some people, when a hurricane hits coastal areas, everyone is affected in that little, especially in the surge, the tidal surge area. Wind damage for sure. Everyone within a few miles of the coast has water damage, but the water, for the most part, dissipates well in the flooding. So while everyone will have the water damage, it's kind of water damage. When you're up in the mountains, that canalization happens. That same volume of water is now forced through very small channels, the mountains themselves, the roads. Any valley becomes just a mudslide and a astronomic event that is kind of a little bit different, almost like a tsunami just running through these towns. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really crazy.
It's crazy because you bring up Irwin, Tennessee, and that bridge collapsing there. That is where the rafting community and the hiking community meet, because the
Yes.
AT comes down right there in front of Uncle Johnny's, and you have to cross that bridge.
Yep.
And we used to stand there and see people rafting. The USA Raft Company is like right next door to Uncle Johnny's. And I didn't see Uncle Johnny's at first and the bridge that collapsed. I saw the hospital, and people were having to be rescued off the top of the hospital. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And
it's
then
crazy.
then that furthered like the research, like, wait a minute, because we had just gotten home from not being able to go down to Alabama. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, what is
Yeah.
going on? What's happening? So, Austin, what was your first, like, for us, it was like Irwin. What has impacted you the most so far?
Well, I mean, just personally, my family has been very, very fortunate. I've got my niece is going to school at App State. Um, my sister lives in Franklin, North Carolina, and so my thoughts were immediately to them. My parents are in the North Georgia mountains, so I was calling them, and we were very, very fortunate. Nobody, no real significant loss of property, and everybody's okay. So, personally, that was where my brain immediately went. But I think it really, it was easy sitting here in Raleigh to just see it come through well, all I have to do is wait for the weather to blow through, and then I can go down to Alabama and have a great weekend. It never really sunk in until I started seeing those road signs going south, Western North Carolina closed, and then getting home, and then you start just getting these little, like Pete was saying, just these little nuggets of information start trickling out. Um, and we just did our French Broad trip back in the spring, and had lunch in Hot Springs twice.
Marshall.
And Marshall, that was another one. And just to see those towns that are still fresh in our memory, and you think about the people that we interacted with while we were there, and it just breaks my heart. to think of everything that they've had to deal with. And in in a way, I feel guilty sitting here because we all want to do something, and we feel helpless just sitting here, not being able to go, not knowing where to send money, where to who's trustworthy enough to donate to, that kind of thing, because there's what's horrible is there are people out there that use opportunities like this to scam people. And so you got to be very careful where you send money, because it might not be a legitimate source.
Yeah, that was our sentiment all weekend up in West Virginia, was that, of course you're going to feel a little guilty because you're unaffected and you're still, pursuing whatever plans you had going on prior to the event, but you want to do something. But as y'all know, some of you may know, some of you may not know, but if you deal with this sort of thing much, just going into that area without any kind of real plan of attack or any kind of coordination with emergency first responders or something of that nature, you're really just adding to the delicate threads of infrastructure they have left. You're adding to the clog. You're using resources and fuel. You're causing people trying to get out to get those things to have more trouble doing that. So there is a little time that you need to take a little breath and just they have people in those areas that are doing things. The people that are landlocked in the areas are all going to pull together and start digging each other out and providing that emergency relief. So without the proper channel to get plugged in, even if you had good skills and stuff, it can be less helpful than it could be just not helpful at all, depending on the situation. So wanting to do something like, everyone is, I was like, I can't stay here and do nothing, but I know that I need to do this in the proper channel. I started realizing, everyone is probably feeling that way. And then I see my friends over at Feed the Hunger offered this opportunity, and I was like, there's something we can do, and anybody can do it.
Yeah, and when I saw that this morning, I sent you a message. I'm like, please come on, let's tell the people about this, because, and I'm grateful and thankful that you're working with them, and to give us an opportunity, those of us that are, what I'm saying, east of I-77 and I-40, to actually physically go somewhere and help and donate as well. And I know you were leading into that. So maybe a little bit about your relationship with them, and then really let's get to it. What can we do?
Right on. So about Feed the Hunger, basically my best friend through high school, his dad had started a ministry, and his goal was to reach the most depraved peoples on the planet. And this was, Haiti, Nepal, places in Africa. Just the only other Americans you'd ever see there when he was bringing food or whatever they were doing to these people would be maybe American Special Forces in the area or something. These were just ravaged places. For anywhere there was just abject hunger and need, they would try to bring these people aid. And what it developed is, as Joseph, my friend's older brother, Joseph Williams, took over for his dad, the focus became, through just some events that had happened, feeding the hunger, and they started packing these meals, and they realized that this was the answer to get into anywhere they needed to go, because everyone has to eat, and everyone in the world knows how to cook rice, everyone in the world knows how to cook beans, and all you need is water. And so they kind of changed what they were doing and started, it's called Feed the Hunger now, and they started doing this all over the world. And in the U.S., there were some major disasters that happened. They go to Kentucky every Christmas because that's just something they do, but they started hitting floods in the Midwest. They started doing hurricane relief, tornado relief, anywhere it's needed. And what they've done over the years is not just international aid, but like right now they're in the Ukraine. I think Pakistan was one of the last places we go. Just all these places, they also work with the emergency first responders and have that networking and that knowledge and all that experience to actually get the food to the people who can deliver it to the people who need it the most. So it's not just, hey, I'm going to drive into this town and try to help somebody. which could be helpful. This is thousands of people are going to eat a hot meal because of your effort. So it's a way to, for those of us who, those avenues to get there maybe are closed. It's still a way for our efforts to actually very quickly and very positively affect people that need it the most. So Feed the Hunger is the name of the organization. Great folks. I've known them for over 30 years. And
the link is going in the chat right now. So people that are out of state, they can certainly donate.
Yes. Yeah. So it's Feed the Hunger, and the link's in the chat. I will say their address. You can play it back later after the thing is over. It's 1200 East Lindsay Street, Lindsay, in Greensboro, North Carolina. That's their facility, and they have the warehouse with the materials and the Packathon packing area. So what we do is they have the freeze-dried ingredients for all the meals, and the way their organization works is they get those ingredients in, and they have a very small, like, skeleton crew within the organization to begin with. So the way they work is they need volunteers to come create the meals. You put the food in, and I've got some videos up where we've done this. We do it every year at Christmas. A few of us went there for their opening of the new facility there, and then it's sealed, vacuum sealed, and then put in boxes. We tape a box. Everyone cheers when you get a box, and in those boxes are 40 meals, and each meal will serve 6 servings. So there's 240 servings in a box. And so every time you cheer, 240 people are eating. And I think last, our Christmas Packathon, I think we did 36,000. I think that sounds right. Meals packed in just a short amount of time. So, it's very streamlined. It's got one of the highest, charity ratings you can have, as they rank these people to the dollars in actually getting to the people. So it's not top heavy. There's not a big payout on the top, where some organizations, some not-for-profits are like that. This is you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. I know them personally. And it's easy to do. It's not, you just need to show up ready to buckle down and do some work for an hour, 2 hours, whatever you have in you, 6 years old, 85 years old, it doesn't matter. You can come and make a difference. And,
when are they opening the doors, Pete? Because I know originally in your video that I saw this morning, you were thinking maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I know for certain I'm going to commit to some hours, either Thursday or Friday.
So I was contacted Joseph, messaged Joseph, and asked him. I saw that they said they're tentatively planning for Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday evening. So I asked him, and he says, "Yeah, we're thinking Wednesday. We'll know for sure either tonight or tomorrow at some point." So I kind of almost debated not mentioning it, but I did want to give this opportunity to get it on people's radar. And so you can probably check back in to the link here, go to their website. They'll probably have the information there. But as it stands now, Wednesday night is what they're planning to open the doors and have several days of Packathon where people can come and pack. If you cannot physically get there, but still want to help, there is the donate button, because they're going to be getting in a lot more of the materials to pack, and that costs money. Traditionally for us, when we do our merch sale, all those funds, all the proceeds go to sponsoring the meals for the Packathon. So we'll pay for the product ourselves, then a bunch of us will come and pack it, and then that's how the operation works. And so yeah, if you can't pack and you want to donate, that's just as helpful for giving materials. If you can't donate but want to pack, there's a place for you too. So it's we'll take all comers.
And it's probably safe to assume if people are looking for updates, you're going to be doing some updates yourself, Pete.
Yes.
On River King. Yep. So Facebook, YouTube, just keep an eye on those.
You can YouTube River Kings, and it'll show up, and you may go to the live feed in the River Kings channel and find that. And I'll also probably try to do an actual video when I get the full details, so that'll show up too. I'll be hitting it on Facebook. I'll probably put it on Instagram. I don't do as much on Instagram, but I'll put some up there.
And I'll make sure I share that on, I'll put all the updated stuff under this description and on my Facebook as well, so people can go over there. But we do have several people right now that are out of town. And now we've got the address there in Greensboro, North Carolina in the chat for Feed the Hunger. So that'll start Wednesday afternoon, probably Thursday and Friday. It's just a place for us North Carolinians that are close to actually go. To me, I feel better when I'm physically doing something, to help. And it's going straight over to our brothers and sisters in Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee. And it just feels good utilizing a service really right here in North Carolina. But if you're outside of North Carolina, I know that they will welcome the donations. And I will say, y'all, I don't think we've seen what's coming. I mean, the water is starting to recede, the sunshine is out, but over 300 roads, I mean, you can't get on them. They're gone. Their towns are wiped out. I just don't think we know all of it. I don't even know what percentage we do know.
No. So, and especially one area we love to paddle is one of the special places in Western North Carolina, really in the world, really, to be honest with you. It's called the Green River Narrows, and it's a very special river. I think the hydro station got knocked out, so that's an electrical component to it that they're going to have trouble with that.
Is that the one there off of Waterville Road?
Yeah. So the switchbacks that go up to connect the community to the outside world from what they call the cove is gone. The bridges below are gone. So there's an entire community that has zero access to the outside world. The only way in and out right now is helicopter to get food to people or people out, and there's no communication possible, no electricity, nothing. And one of the more famous kayakers, best kayaker in the world, Dane Jackson, and his friend Mason, just risked life and limb with a whitewater kayak full of non-perishables to go down in there into the unknown, and the whole river, the whole valley is rearranged. You would not even recognize this river. But they got in there, and there's some video of upside down houses, and they've located 40 people that are in there stranded. They've disseminated all the food. And they're trying to locate, a way to get a landing zone established properly. They think there's a field that'll work. That's one small, tiny pocket of West North Carolina that is basically probably 80% of West North Carolina is made up of those little pockets, those little communities. And the way the infrastructure repair works is you can't start there. You have to start big. You have to start with repairing the main inroads. And by the time it's all filtered out to those little pockets of people, it takes time. So, wanting to help those people who need it the most is going to be very, very, very difficult for the average person. But being able to get this product or any other kind of, official capacity meals and aid to people to get on helicopters to go, that's the way to reach these people who need it the most. Notwithstanding, if there's a chance to help and you're nearby, of course, we'll all pitch in. But those people are going to need a lot of help, and it just goes beyond what a normal person can do on their own. So this is a chance to tap into that, contribute your efforts, whether that be labor or donation, whatever you want, that will be able to make that difference. So.
And ongoing, because a week from now, when maybe things settle out. They haven't settled out. I mean, It's just not even possible. And right before you got on here, Pete, while we were waiting to go live, Austin and I were talking about the very small town of Busick, North Carolina. And there's no way you're not going through Busick if you are headed to Black Mountain Campground, the base of Mount Mitchell, a lot of hiking in the Pisgah National Forest. And I've heard nothing about Busick, but I did see they got 41.9 inches of rain in this town where you see the sign and then you turn around and see the sign the other way. That's the town. Like this small town at the base of Mount Mitchell. It's Mount Mitchell State Park, the Mountains to Sea Trail. There are a lot of trail networks in that area. Mountain bikers are affected by this as well. All outdoor enthusiasts that love that area. And it's just extremely heartbreaking.
One way to look at that to kind of help people picture, if you took a 4-foot thick blanket of water and set it on that entire area and let it go at once, and you could imagine how that's going to just rage through there. That might be a better way to visualize just how devastating that's going to be in the mountains, where gravity and water are just not friends to anything in its way. So yeah, total devastation.
I know. And, you know, I'm sorry people are having to postpone their hiking trips, their kayaking trips, their biking trips, but y'all, it's going to be a while. And the best thing that we can do is, when the dust settles, is bring this back up again, because people are going to need help.
Yeah, this is good. This is a long haul. You know, the food is an immediate need. But, you know, I know just in our little kayaking text thread, talking about, you know, contractors, the lack of contractors in that area already, and just the slow rebuilding process that it's going to have to happen over the next few years, probably. I mean, just putting out ignoring the fact that, you know, there's a whole interstate that's shut down. All the little projects, both residential and commercial, that have to happen to kind of bring life back to normal. It's just a monumental task, and it's going to take a long, long time.
And apparently Google has already removed I-40 when you're trying to get to this side of North Carolina. And I would say on the other side of East Tennessee towards Knoxville as well. So it is devastating when you see signs up that say all roads in Western North Carolina closed. And when you try to map something out, you know, via Google or Apple Maps, it's just not feasible to get, you know, from North Carolina through Tennessee and the surrounding states. In Virginia, Virginia and South Carolina, many, many towns decimated. So, you know, we're just devastated, I think is the word, and don't really have, you know, an eye on what this really is. But what we can do right away, Pete, if you want to tell us one more time, we'll put the donate button up there again. I know you've got information on the River Kings YouTube page, your Facebook, and just let everybody know one more time, and then we're going to let you go. And y'all, we're just going to keep praying and keep donating what we can.
Yeah, so River Kings is my YouTube channel, and basically we're just trying to ultimately stay connected to our memories, and it's kind of turned into something unexpected, and we've just been trying to find a way to use that for something more than just being another YouTube channel. So we connected early with Feed the Hunger, a local nonprofit, basically a charity that is, its mission is literally feeding people wherever there is need, from the Ukraine to Nepal to Pakistan to anywhere in the world. Also within the United States, anywhere there's just depravity, you know, abject poverty, natural disasters, whether that be hurricane, flooding, anything. And Feed the Hunger is a great organization. They know what they're doing. This is what they do. And they pack these meals, and we'll pack the meals, and they'll be shipped to the people in Western North Carolina, East Tennessee that need this. The Packathon is tentatively going to start Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, and go for several days is what I've heard. I will get final information on that either today or tomorrow. And the event, where you go to pack, is going to be at their Greensboro location, and that is 1200 East Lindsay Street, Greensboro, North Carolina. And that's Lindsay, Lindsay. You can go to feedthehunger.org. There's a donate area if you can't come, but you want to contribute. That's just as important, and all of it will be greatly appreciated. So yeah, we're locked into these people every year. All of our merch sale proceeds go to them. I've known them personally over 30 years, the family that runs this, and you can go check their non-for-profit rating. It's one of the best there is. And so, yeah, it's something you can trust. It's going to go to people quickly. It's going to go to people that need it, and it's going to be warm meals and other things as well. But the main thrust is warm meals. So if you want to do something, you're not sure what to do, it's a great opportunity to get plugged into something that will make a difference. Absolutely.
Thank
Awesome.
you, Pete. Thank you for joining us. Austin, any parting words?
No, just keep an eye on the River Kings channel, both on YouTube and Facebook for more updates. But I think this is a great way for everybody that feels helpless trying to help. It's a great way to sink your teeth in, even if you can't physically be there. It's real easy to donate and know that money's going directly to where it needs to go.
All right, Pete, thank you very much. I know this was
Thanks
last
for having me.
minute, so I truly appreciate it. Austin, it was last minute for you as well. I truly appreciate it. And if y'all will share this, share Pete's information, let's get it out there. And yeah, guys, let's just do what we can. So we will sign off for now. And y'all, we will see you soon.